And we're live. We're in here. Woo! Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for joining us. What a very interesting night. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woo-woo-woos and what's of AEW Dynamite. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy Hammer. Roy.
Whoa.
Red.
Wow.
We haven't spoken at all. We haven't spoken at all
We
about
haven't.
Revolution.
We
haven't spoken at all about. So this is what a way to introduce it. Let's see how we're doing, everyone in here. This is the Who's and What's of AEW Dynamite, where we cover the best and worst of AEW Dynamite. We just finished watching. It went over. Swiss says, woo, Brooklyn Bleak's in the house. Damn, another great episode. Interesting thought, Bleak. Interesting thought. Tony, Regal and Moxley. Huh? Chica Marks, this is going to be a 4-hour stream. Honestly, if I have to.
It might be. Hey, Jazz, we're going all day.
John Buse would, Red, every 20 minutes. We got to get out of here. Do we do that every 20 minutes?
Which is important. It's important because I can talk about one thing forever.
Sometimes we got to get out of there. Okay, we have to start talking about it.
We just got to dive right in.
Right in.
I just want to take a quick second, though, before we dive right in. Just to say thank you to you. You're fantastic. You're the best. Because I get stressed out when I'm like, oh, I got to update the YouTube. I got to update the YouTube. And then I go and you've already done it. You're a king.
Oh, shush. Get out of here. Quit it.
Okay.
We got to talk about the damn show.
We're going to talk about the damn show.
Swiss says, I didn't say any attention to the matches, just the promos. We're going to have to talk about this. This is very interesting. Jericho starts off the night. Jericho comes out. Jericho grabs the mic and he's like, I want to thank you, Eddie. I want to thank you because you brought something out and made blah, 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 blah. And he wants to shake his hand. Let's quickly talk about the match on Revolution.
Yeah.
Great match.
Yeah. Might have been my favorite match of the night, honestly.
Might have been the best match of the night. I agree. It was there's a lot of thought in it. I thought the ending was great with Jericho just like, instead of like attacking him, just not shaking his hand and walking away.
Yeah.
He just couldn't do it. He just couldn't bring himself to do it.
It was also, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit throughout the night. It was a good length. It was like the perfect length. It didn't need to go any longer. It was perfect. Some of those matches, controversially, might have been a little long.
A little long. 4-hour pay-per-view.
Technically, yeah.
But we get Eddie. Then Eddie comes out. Eddie comes out, and he's at Jericho. Got in his head. He was almost not going to show up to the pay-per-view at all because he was just wanted to drink his problems away, wanted to feed his demons. But then like he thought about all the people that were helped by that interview that he did. You know, that big interview.
And Players Tribune.
Players Tribune. Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was on the Players Tribune.
Oh, wow. That's loud. I pressed the wrong button. I'm trying to get the brightness to go up, and I'm doing it. But yeah, he's trying to do that. And Jericho wants to shake, but then Eddie's just like, you don't want to shake your hand for me to show me anything. You want to shake your hand for you because you're empty, blah, blah, blah. And Jericho's like, listen, I get it, blah, 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 blah. Let's shake hands. They shake hands. And by the way, Jericho puts out his hand in a very weird way.
Yeah, it was very weird.
It was like his hand was flat. And I'm just like, how's anyone supposed to shake that fucking claw? And Eddie shakes his hand. But then out comes 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. And they start beating up on both of them, but more heavily Eddie.
Yeah, right? It was interesting. I thought for a minute, I was like, Jericho's actually hurt.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to take it easy on him.
Yeah, which is actually
they got
good.
Me.
They got us.
They got me.
And then Proud and Powerful come out to save the day with their bats, and they give Jericho back and like, we're gonna hit Daniel Garcia so good. And then Jericho turns, beats Proud and Powerful, and then they all beat them down together. And a pretty nice little beatdown. Then Jake Hager comes out. He's like, wait a second. I thought we were, and they were, and we were. And then he does a swerve as well because everyone's got like he couldn't possibly have known. So then they do a power bomb Eddie through the table, which was fucking nuts. Jake Hager almost dropped him on his head. But then when he landed, he just landed all upper body and his head basically hit the table. His head basically broke.
It was almost a Spike Dudley moment. Remember Spike Dudley? Remember that moment? Ooh.
Yeah, when La Resistance launched him directly down, and the table's too far away.
Just terrible.
We'll send that to Chica Marks. She might need that as homework.
Oh, Chica Marks, look out!
Yeah, so we get Jericho with his new Jericho Appreciation Society.
I love it.
That was the first 15 minutes.
Man, where to begin, right? Like where to begin?
I guess let's talk about the first thing, Jericho turning heel. Great. Jericho turned heel. Great
Fantastic.
Move. Great move.
God, the best.
And Jericho also did a great job this weekend. Honestly, I don't mind Jericho is as this new Jericho. Like
Same.
he's in better shape. He's got a great match with Eddie, and him as a heel because he's never ever worked.
He's a great heel. He's a
Great
fantastic heel. And calling something the Jericho Appreciation Society works really well for old man Jericho. Like old man heel Jericho, who's like, please don't forget about me. It's great. It's perfect. It's really good. And Eddie did such a good job here. The perfect person to turn heel against is Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
And this is going to be controversial,
What do
Red.
you got?
But Eddie cut a great promo tonight. He was good.
Yeah.
This isn't controversial, but remember how we were talking about that promo segment that you hated so much?
Yeah.
This is the exact opposite of that because Jericho's no longer in Eddie's head. Eddie's thinking clearly. He's being concise. He's expressing himself because he's no longer worried about this Jericho match and being one up by Chris Jericho. He beat him. So he's being honest in himself again.
It was night and day. Honestly, he was so much better today. And this was a great promo. He gave he did a great job.
A little teary-eyed.
Let's get to some of the comments before we continue. Chica Mark says, this is going to be, we already wrote that. Swizz, amazing pay-per-view and a great episode of Dynamite. Excited to get mad at Red for his takes tonight. Good times. I've got some takes about tonight. Chica Mark says, bless you, Chica Marks. Well, hi, everyone. Chica Mark says, never seen Jericho look so solemn. Decent acting. He was pretty good today.
He did a great job. He looked good. My buddy was watching with me tonight, my buddy Jeff, who hasn't seen wrestling on a consistent basis in a really long time. And he kept saying how great Jericho looked. And he really did look great. And he did a great job in that segment.
100%. Then says, haha ass. Smith says, shame Damon Garcia has been put into this position and through this, thought he would be Moxley Danielson. Let's talk about that. I don't mind this pairing.
I don't either.
I think like 2.0 and Daniel Garcia make a lot more sense than Sammy Guevara and Proud and Powerful. I think that's actually a really good pairing for him.
Right? I agree. I think it's great use of 2.0. Yes. Excellent use of 2.0. And I'm also really glad that Jake Hager is there because Jake Hager, if you're going to keep him around, should always just be Jericho's heater. And he's better as a heel. Jericho's better as a heel. It's a better pairing. It's a fun thing that's going on here.
Llama Lad, welcome to the chat, Llama Lad. Legitimately might be the worst names I've ever heard for a faction. I love it. Yeah. It's a pretty terrible. Honestly, I hated it when I first heard it. I was so angry. But then I'm just like, that's why it makes sense.
The other thing too, with the exception of Daniel Garcia, all of these guys aren't people with a future. I know that sounds mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like Sammy and Santana Ortiz were in there to be elevated. You don't need to elevate 2.0 necessarily. They have their role in the company. That's where they're going to be. That's how it goes. Daniel Garcia has to get elevated, but like these people can fall back more for Jericho and it can be called the Jericho Appreciation Society because the rest of these guys can fall back in support of him. This is his whole thing. This is about him. That's what he's probably going to talk about. How like he spent his time elevating people, getting people over. It's a family. No, it's Jericho's time. I'm the one. What's he call himself? The big one? I'm the big one.
Did he call himself the big one? Like the rocket from Toy Story? Mowat's in the house.
Uncle Mowat.
Big Uncle Mowat. Sweet Uncle Mowat.
Sweet Uncle Mowat.
A founder, LLW founder.
Yeah. The Godfather.
Welcome to the chat. But writes, I counted 4 people crying tonight and 2 almost criers. Emotional episode. Yeah. Well, definitely Eddie was starting to tear up a little bit during his. It's just very good. Very good. Very good stuff. And then I think the turn is great. And I think the pairing works really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Swizz, I almost cried when I heard this faction name. Yeah, fair. Well, bless you, Swizz. Welcome back to the chat. Chica Mark says, Moet, yes, a heavy night. No one's getting along. 100%. It's a very tense night. A lot of tension.
A lot going on in tonight's show.
Very busy. Very busy show.
Busier than recently.
Yes.
Their pacing has been better recently. There's a lot going on tonight.
Yeah. Mose, woo, sorry I'm late. No worries. Butter's fine.
We're here, bud.
Everyone smash the like button, and thank you so much for your early smashes. You did a great job before I even started yelling about it. John Busman, Eddie's the new People's Champ, 100%. I think that's a great. Like if the People's Champs are DDP, Rock, then Eddie, those all make sense. Are there any other People's Champs that I'm aware of?
I have a hard time thinking The Rock is the People's Champ, other than the fact that he called himself the People's Champion.
He's the most People's Champ.
Yeah, but what did he do to deserve that title?
DDP earned it. He was such a dick heel. Like Steve Austin was a heel that became a face, but there was something to like about him because he was like anti-authority. The Rock,
he was a hard worker.
The Rock was a piece of shit, like a garbage person, like just a mean, angry, evil guy that everyone just loved and rooted for.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the People's Champ.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, Eddie Kingston is the all-time People's Champ, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll see. Brooklyn Bleak says, thank God Eddie Kingston shut that fool up in the audience screaming that throughout the great interaction between Kingston and Jericho.
That was also fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I like that someone called attention to it rather than trying to outwork the what chance, which is fine and does a good job. Like I was happy that he took a different approach, just being like, save it for another time.
Yeah. Two things about that too. One, Eddie's the perfect person to do that. And two, the AEW audience is different than the WWE audience. If a wrestler in the ring tells someone in the crowd to shut up, the rest of the audience is going to take the wrestler's side and not take the fan side. So by Eddie saying that, the whole crowd was on Eddie's side. They weren't going to like join in the what chant or anything. That stopped it right there.
Yeah, no, it did. It killed it immediately. It was a great job. Excellent job. Then we got, thank God. Oh yeah, we already got that. The John Busman and Jake Hager's here too. Jake Hager, I get why he just needs if he's just the big guy for Jericho. That's what we're
great.
Doing. That's right.
He certainly has got to work on his power bombing skills.
Yikes!
Picking up skills.
Well, no, it was just an awkward thing.
Yeah,
like it was an awkward place to do it right on the ring apron. But that was nuts. Do we abbreviate it and call it JAS? I was thinking that. When he said Jericho Appreciation Society,
I can't wait.
I was like, is that short for like a fun thing? I was like, JAS. But we'll see.
I'm sure he's got something planned.
There's gonna be like jazz holes or something. I don't know.
That's funny you say that.
Tony says Inner Circle 2.0. That would have been pretty.
That would have been really funny.
Honestly, that would have been really good.
Really quite funny.
S says, miss you, Uncle Mo. Mo it. That's all pressure, Mo it into being on the show. We can all do it as one. Let's all do it as one. Brooklyn Bleak says all his followers can be called jassholes.
Yeah, right.
That's the obvious one.
You and Brooklyn Bleak, same brain.
Chica Marks, William and Tony made me tear up. Actually, we're gonna get to that. That was very sweet.
Yeah,
very sweet, but also, yeah, we have thoughts. Mo says, "Aw, thanks, S. Thank him in person." Well, not in person, digitally. We want you here, Moet. Joseph says, Joe, hi, Joe. Welcome to the chat. The Rock was one of the most over people in the history of the business. If anything, he's the only people's champ.
I love when
he's
Joe's
throwing
in the
down
chat.
the gauntlet.
I love it. Because Joe hates Eddie Kingston. Let's all remind everyone who's watching this that Joe hates Eddie Kingston.
Joe does hate Eddie Kingston.
But what's funny is that Joe's like a conventional wrestling fan in the sense that, like, The Rock is The Rock. And then his follow-up comment, though, totally contradicts that.
No, he's not. I wouldn't call Joe a conventional wrestling fan. I think Joe has a very particular tastes in wrestling, as do we all.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
Joe writes, and he will pass the torch to Danhausen along with all the buddies. You just love.
He loves that Danhausen.
Everyone loves that Danhausen. To be fair, Mo says this episode has so much density. The storylines have new starting points. Told a relapse fan this is the episode to jump in on. Interesting, Mo.
That's interesting.
I would disagree because I felt just a big scope. Yeah. This episode was a lot, too much, right?
I felt like it was like 2 segments too long.
I felt like everything in the episode felt rushed. You were right, 2 segments too long. If they cut down on maybe, honestly, the Jungle Boy acclaimed match didn't need to happen.
Well, I think the Pac Wheeler Yuta match didn't need to. I forgot. Was there even a finish to that match? Because I don't remember it.
We'll get to the finish in a second. But it just felt very just heavy. And Brooklyn Bleak says, "We'll have thoughts." Just makes me so uneasy. What was that? Who said we'll have thoughts?
I don't know.
Oh, us having
Did
thoughts.
we say that?
Oh, we'll have thoughts. Oh, maybe that was it. Joe writes, love that Danhausen and still hate Kingston. We should make that a t-shirt. Love that Danhausen. Hate that Kingston though.
Never wear it.
Let's move on to the next thing. I think we covered that fair amount. I think we did a good job of covering. Fair.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, was there anything else? That one more time, just for the cheap seats. I loved their match at Revolution. It might have been my favorite match on the card. And I love that Jericho rises to the occasion. He doesn't need to be getting dropped on his head at 50, but he wants to do it, and he does it. He doesn't need to go through light tubes and all that shit, but he does it because he wants to, and it's cool.
This made me respect him. This made me respect him a lot more than I did last week. Even though I do think he's a piece of shit. Smash that like button if you think Jericho's a piece of shit. Joe writes, and yes, there are two different talents. They are two different talents, but both masters of what they do. Danhausen and Kingston. Or Rock and Kingston. Oh, the Rock and Kingston. I mean, Rock and Danhausen. That's what he's trying to say. Thomas Scott, welcome to the chat. Jericho's trying to control his narrative. He is trying to control his narrative. He would love to control his narrative. Okay, we got to move on. We got to get out.
We got to keep rolling.
Because, you know what? CM Punk is dead. Long live CM Punk.
Long live
CM Punk. There was a little video package of CM Punk just talking after the match and kind of saying that. I like that saying. It was good. It was a good way of incorporating Punk on there without having him have a segment.
Yeah. How did you feel about that match at Revolution?
Great. Wish the chains stuck together.
That
hurt my brain a little bit. You didn't like it.
3 to 4 minutes too long. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the finish was perfect. I thought everything about the finish was perfect. I loved the blood. I loved the aggression. I loved the story that they told. But they could have shaved off 3 or 4 minutes and it wouldn't have had an impact. But I thought it was fantastic otherwise.
That was the one match that I was okay with. That was the one of the longer matches that I was okay with. But I see what you're saying. I do get that it was a little bit long. Different strokes. I wish he hit those tacks dead center, but
I feel bad saying this because I want everyone to be safe. But MJF, whether he realized it or not, whipped Punk with that chain and set the precedent that this is going to be a brutal match. And then when Punk did it, he wanted to protect MJF, which is great, but he did it. It was very soft and it was and then the crowd chanted PG Punk at him, which is really funny, but it took me out a little bit, but that's a nitpick. Overall, it was fantastic. And I didn't recognize the entrance. I didn't know that was his Ring of Honor song. I didn't know any of that, but it didn't take it away from me. I loved the set. I loved the entrance. I thought it was great. Yeah,
there was a little bit of noise about that. I thought why were people mad? And I thought about it for a second, this he was wearing his old tights. I'm this must be his old music.
Right.
Exactly. And it was just easy to place together. S says, I like the show, but you are right that Tony needs an editor. They try to cram in too much stuff in every episode. A little less would be more. Wow. I'm so happy to see you're coming around, S. I really am happy that you realized your errors. Thomas Scott says, Jeff Hardy and Punk have real life beef. Still, I wonder how this is going to work. I don't know. I'm sure that Jeff, do they have real life beef?
I don't know, but Punk and Cabana have real life heat, and that's working just fine for them.
Yeah, Thomas, let us know what real life beef is. I wasn't because they did have a program in late 2009.
2009, yeah, 2009.
And in all honesty, Jeff's a different guy than he was then.
Definitely, 100%.
So we'll see.
So is Punk.
Did
you see Punk's media scrum after the pay-per-view? He was crying a bunch. It was great.
It was really beautiful.
Outstanding.
It was beautiful. Brooklyn Bleak says AEW equals Advanced Placement Pro Wrestling. Advanced Placement Pro AP Pro Wrestling, Smart Kid Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, how about that?
I like that. Brooklyn Bleak says Sting handled the Jeff Hardy debut well. Interesting.
Yeah, do you remember their beef?
Yeah, they had but I think they again that was pretty squashed. Sting's not going to hold a grudge.
Yeah, Sting doesn't hold grudges. Sting's a man of the Lord. He doesn't hold grudges.
He's a sweet old man.
How about that dive, by the way?
Oh my God. So let's talk about. We're going to get to Sting. We're going to get to Sting in just a little bit. Dante Martin versus Hangman Page. This came out of left field.
Yeah, it sure did. But
I just wish that if there's going to be a title match, give me a couple days notice, right?
Yeah, I did think that was strange because the title has never been defended on short notice like that before. It was a little strange.
And for Dante Martin to get it, like, I wish there was a story of just being like, hey, Dante Martin, you're going to get your big champion. You're going to get a big chance next week, like, because you rose the ranks. You know, let him have something to kind of like be like, wow, like, let us.
Well, they told the story there, but they did a bad job of telling the story. So the story is essentially like, so let's talk about the match and then we'll talk about the story, because Hangman tells the story. But how about the match? How'd you feel about the match?
This match, it was good. I thought it was a good match. I think they did a good job. I like Dante. I just think it's a weird time to give Dante a singles championship match when his brother just returned. That's the
story. That's the story that they're telling. So the story they're telling is Dante, Darius got hurt a year ago, and Dante did the impossible, as Hangman said, where he entered into the singles ranks and worked his way all the way up to a championship match. He's gotten his championship match. He lost, and now he's going to go off and be a tag team wrestler with his brother forever from now on. But to finish the story of Dante, the singles wrestler, he got his title match that he worked hard for, and he was the number 2 ranked singles wrestler. So he got a story, he lost, and now it's over, and now him and Darius are going to be top flight from here on out.
I see all that. I just feel like if you give me an extra week, just give me an extra week.
100%.
Just have noticed. I'm fine with the story. Mo says, what a freaking pop with Jeff. Yes, it was a loud pop, but I think for a very specific reason. S says, I still think you're wrong most of the time, Red. Fucking dog. Tony says, Sting and Jeff Hardy in the same ring. I wonder how Sting took that whole Jeff Hardy Sting TNA incident. I think that's water under the bridge. He's
been on record as to say, like, hey, we all have our demons, and I hope Jeff is, doing whatever he can. He was never mad at Jeff. He was mad at TNA management, as I would be also, for allowing him to come out to the ring. Yeah. And that's how they finished the pay-per-view. Whatever.
So Thomas Scott elaborates on Jeff versus Punk. Jeff filmed a vid in 2009 in a restaurant, was high, and Punk kept harping on these videos and never apologized for the comments he made about Jeff. I'm sure that's water in the bridge. I doubt that, like, Punk or Jeff are holding on to any of that beef when Hardy was in a bad way and Punk was probably a real piece of shit.
Yeah. I think Punk, there's like pre-lawsuit Punk and post-lawsuit Punk.
Yeah. Like,
and he's like everything go.
There's a pre-UFC face beatings and post-UFC face beatings. Man got humbled.
Yeah, that's also true.
Smooth says, I never noticed Dante was a top contender. Never seen he was so high in the rankings. Yeah, we didn't either. Like, it was shocking.
Who's looking at the rankings?
Yeah, the rankings aren't real.
Swizz, are you looking at the rankings? Because if you are,
tell me if they're accurate, Swizz. Because I don't think
who's number one right now?
Hey,
who should be number one?
I think Dante wasn't Dante?
Dante was number 2.
Oh, maybe it's Punk.
Yeah.
Let us know, Smooth. Smooth is the expert on the rankings. We're gonna call Smooth our rankings expert. Thank you, Smooth. Mo says, did we need that title match? All belts defended 3 days after Revolution? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's strange. I think there's some strange decisions here. Except the main event. The main event made sense, and I'm excited to talk about it.
That's on, 100%. There were some great things on this show too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Busman says, it was new and odd, but I'm glad Dante got the match. It was as long as it needed to be. Yeah, I think the match actually was a perfect length. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It was good. And it told a really good story at the end. Brooklyn Bleak says, I didn't even know about the Dante Martin versus Page match. If it goes to root with Dante kicking his brother through the barbershop window, though, do you think? Hopefully they don't split up.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
For a while.
Although I bet those two would have a killer feud against one another.
Yeah.
It'd be sick, but not yet.
What?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Oh, I didn't understand. Tony says that Sammy spot was freaking crazy. Yeah, because he's crazy, man.
Crazy.
He's losing it.
I'm loco.
Yeah. Bose. Roy might be right about Dante's storyline. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, Hangman said it. Like, I didn't create that in my head. Hangman said it.
John Buston says, Jeff Hardy smiling, clapping at Darby. Darby, I'm straight edge. He just stares at him back. He was like, yeah, it was very fun. Lamaled, I think a lot of the Dante story has me been muddled, sadly. Would have loved to see what the story with Leo.
Oh.
Yeah. Honestly, that would have been, because I would have loved to see like his brother just being like, hey, I'm back. And Leo's just like, whoa, we're tag team. But Dante's like, no, that's my brother.
Yeah.
And he's just like, then what have we been? You know, like,
and then Leo is like, oh, I have the perfect way to solve this. AEW is getting trios titles, and we'll just be a trio.
You would love that. Oh, but no, but Tony can't pull the plug on that, couldn't pull the trigger on that until Kenny Omega gets back. How can I do it without Kenny Omega? He's the trios champion of the world. Brooklyn Bleak says, I guess Dante had a lot of AEW dark matches. Yeah, that's where he built up his record. Swizz, as the rankings expert, I can tell you that I've not looked at the rankings. Damn, Swizz. You're gonna get fired from your job.
Yeah. Also, didn't Dante just lose to Powerhouse Hobbs? So shouldn't Powerhouse be in this spot? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Joe writes, wasn't Scorpio number one? Hence his shot at cue card boy. That might be it.
Also true.
Scorpio might be it.
Also true.
And I like calling him cue card boy. That's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on because we have a lot more stuff to cover.
Yeah, we're rolling here.
Yeah, we're rolling here. Tony in the ring with Hangman afterward. Oh, we talked about that. So he brings Dante back in. They have that touching little moment. Then Adam Cole comes back out and he says, you think you're untouchable, Hangman? I've got something to show you. And then he challenges him. He's like, I'm going to show you in a 6-man tag match. Like,
yeah,
so,
that'll show him.
And he's like, I've got some friends that know you inside out, bud. And they're going to walk all over you or something. I don't know. And now the whole thing is who their partner is going to be.
Yeah.
That's the message they're trying to say. Was this good to continue this?
No.
Right?
I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. This is all leading in my head to a bit of a detour for Hangman. He's going to get involved in this whole Young Bucks, Red Dragon thing. And he is going to be, eventually it's going to lead to a 6-man Bucks and Hangman versus Red Dragon and Cole. That's what I think is probably going to happen. And it's going to kind of turn the Bucks babyface again. And then eventually Kenny will come back and the Elite's going to reunite. All that's going to happen. And then he'll drop the belt to MJF.
That's a lot.
Maybe.
That's a lot.
Probably it all out.
It just feels kind of like, when do I realize the least, like, the most important things on the show have nothing to do with the titles.
That's why Punk needs to be the next challenger.
Punk needs to be the next challenger
for Hangman's title.
That's a good point. Next up, we get Bryan and Moxley.
Ooh.
Bryan Danielson and Moxley versus JD Drake and Anthony Henry, the Workhorseman.
Yeah.
And Regal accompanies Bryan to the ring. Hard-hitting match, great match. Yeah, great stuff. And they're a fun tag team with some of the stuff they were doing, where they did and because they're two different type of violent. Like his
100%.
Like, Bryan's like a very methodical, like, I'm gonna break each one of your fingers type of violent. And Moxley's just like, yeah, you're gonna poke my eye out, I'll still bite your nose off,
Would you say, and I could be wrong about this, I need to go back and watch more, but would you say this tag team would be similar to a Regal and Fit Finlay if they were ever a tag team? They were never a tag team. But like Finley's more of the brawler, Regal's more of the methodical break your fingers type.
I think that's actually a really good way of describing it. Yeah, I think that's a great way of describing it. Yeah. Excellent job, Roy.
I love thank you so much.
Their matches are some of my favorite.
Oh,
that's some homework for you, Chica Marks. She hasn't seen many William Regal matches.
I'm going to send you, Chica Marks. I'm going to send you their parking lot brawl from Nitro. It's a good one.
Didn't Finlay almost lose a finger in that match?
Oh, you betcha. He almost lost a finger in like every one of their matches.
Blessings. But yeah, we get that match and the label lock on Drake for the win. Bryan and Mox win. But next up is what we're trying to see is we want to hear William Regal, what he has to say.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, like, there are some good parts of this. Like, I think him talking to Tony was pretty touching. It was pretty sweet. I think he's like, what's his face? Tony Khan said to William Regal before, and he's like, yeah, take 5 minutes to talk about whatever you want. And then William Regal's just like, can it be a little longer? He's like, yeah, take a little longer. And he took 20 fucking minutes. And he rambled for quite a while. And I forgot, I was like, I love William Regal on the mic. And then I was just like, oh, wait, William Regal does kind of forget that he's on the mic sometimes. And he kind of like just rambled. And basically it felt like he's like, I love Bryan Danielson. I love Bryan Danielson. Yeah. My favorite. And then like Moxley's here too. Like it felt very like he didn't care about Moxley, right?
Yeah, it felt a little long. And I think it's true. I think like, look, do Regal and Moxley have a relationship? For sure. Is there a ton of respect between the two of them? For sure. But is the relationship that Moxley has with Regal very similar to the relationship that Regal has with like 100 other wrestlers from the Performance Center? Yes.
Yeah.
Bryan, on the other hand, they worked together in Memphis in the early 2000s. Like, they were training together when WWE's developmental territory was in Memphis in like 2000, 2001. So like, they really do go back a really long way. And I loved what he said about him. I love that line about how like this guy ended up doing the things that I could never do because he didn't struggle with the demons that I struggled with, or whatever he said was fantastic. It was really very good.
I don't want to take away from that at all. I just feel that that's a different promo. That's a different promo for a different time.
Sure.
I felt like this should have been like, I saw what they were doing and just like, it drove me, it made me bloody mad that they were acting like such children when they're supposed to be violent. You're supposed to give an intimidating, like, I am the king of violence. These are my disciples, that type of thing. And kind of just like, I thought it was touching with the Tony stuff. I thought that was sweet. I thought like everything he said about Bryan was great. And I wish it was a different promo. It
was like 3 promos rolled up into one.
Yeah, 100%. We have to get some of these comments in here. Bless you all for commenting. Thank you, every one of you. Thomas Scott says, "I wonder where Swerve fits in all of this. He is he's too big of a name to not be contending. Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows? Well, in all honesty, though, I won't hold out much hope because if you're not brought into the company in a big way, you are you're forgotten pretty close after.
A pretty big way that he got brought in. I mean, he got brought in the same way Christian got brought in, and Christian did stuff for a while, and he's going to eventually feud with Jungle Boy.
Christian's a much bigger name than Swerve. S says, what do you all think about the Hangman Dark Order storyline? Are they setting up Hangman heel turn after he loses the belt? Maybe. I just feel like there's the Dark Order and the Hangman storyline has a lot of shades of gray, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't. It's never been one way or another, right? Like it's always been kind of like they're it's a deep relationship they have.
Yeah, but you know who needs the heel turn? Dark Order, not Hangman. Got to turn the Dark Order heel. Dark Order needs something to do. They can't just be goofy baby faces anymore. It's time.
I like that. I didn't think of that, but I like that a lot.
They should turn heel. Yeah,
interesting. Very interesting.
I think so.
Let us know what you think. Smooth says TNT is an open challenge. Scorpio had his match because Paige Van Zandt signing.
There was like a tie. Tony Khan agreed to give Scorpio his title match in exchange for Paige Van Zandt showing up and signing a contract.
Did they say that?
Yeah, at some point. It was a little convoluted. She was supposed to sign the contract on Revolution, and it didn't happen. So
interesting.
Happened tonight,
though. Joe writes, TK hearts Kenny hard. No new titles till he's back. Smart move, TK. Call the hotline. Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, call the hotline.
Call the hotline 201-5747
222.
7222. Mo says, so there is this is where BTE actually crosses over with Silver and Reynolds. I don't know the ref. I don't watch BTE terribly much.
I haven't watched BTE. I watched BTE today actually, but I skipped over a lot of it. I just wanted to see if they were hinting at the Hangman Young Bucks thing, which they are.
Thomas Scott says Teddy Long is somewhere smiling with all these tag matches. That's very funny, and it's very true.
Team match.
John Busen, yep, Bucks and Hangman. He's already added colorful tassels to his gear. Oh, that's interesting. I guess that is it. That is it. But also, I love his rainbow cowboy gear.
Yeah.
Mo says, what is the history that brought Regal to tears? I don't know. Do you know the history with him and Shivani?
I just know that Shivani was a backstage guy as well as an announcer in WCW. And I'm sure when, he came over from England to WCW, that was the first place he worked in America was WCW. And I'm sure Tony really helped him. Tony's a nice guy at the end of the day. And I'm sure he wanted to do everything he could for the talent. And I'm sure he helped Regal out. I don't know anything specific about it, but I loved his comment. Like, what did he say? Like 29 years in the business and you still don't have a tailor, and he made fun of his clothes.
Yeah, he made fun of his clothes.
Love that.
That's good. I love when people make fun of how Tony dresses, or his appearance.
He's got his hair grow out too.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love the earring and the hair.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Chico Marks, thank you. Can't wait to do my homework. Oh, of course, Chico Marks. Bless you. We went night hiking yesterday.
That's wonderful.
Good night hike.
Do you see that bug? That big bug? Is that?
Yeah.
That's scary.
That was nuts. Check out Chica Marks on Instagram for all the scary bug content. Brooklyn Bleak says, what the hell happened to Jay White? Yeah. I thought it would have been White and Young Bucks versus Cole and Red Dragon until Omega came back. Was White just a temp like Redbeard? I think so.
It could be. Yeah, sure.
I think he's just a temp.
Hey, what's that? The Forbidden Door. You know, you come and go. You walk in, it's a swinging door. It's a
swinging door. Big kitchen door. Just flaps back and open.
Just make sure you open it the right direction because someone might be coming on the other side. You know, but
honestly, it's more of a cat door. Just like because it's kind of open all the time and it's drafty and people sneak in bugs. Thomas Scott says W messed up Regal. Regal is too good. Yes, I'm very glad that he's getting this. S, much like Red loves bald wrestlers, I love husky wrestlers. I don't feel like AEW doesn't give my dude JD Drake the shine he deserves. Where's JD's flowers?
Can I just? You agree with this, first of all, right?
I don't agree that I like only bald wrestlers.
I'm saying you agree that JD Drake deserves his flowers. You also love husky wrestlers.
I do love husky wrestlers. Actually, I do love husky bald wrestlers.
All I'm saying is
I would be one.
I agree with you. Take the singlet off. And I'm sure they're making AEW stop making JD Drake wear a singlet. Let the man wear his tights. Let the man wear his tights. Let the belly hang out.
I'm sure he does what he wants.
He wears not a singlet on the indies. He only wears a singlet on television.
Maybe he feels self-conscious.
I hope not, because he's a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful man. Did I change voice? Did everything change?
No, you're okay.
Okay, thank God. Okay, so next up is Swizz. I feel like JD could move to Ring of Honor and be used more. Yep.
Workhorsemen should be right up there for the tag team titles in Ring of Honor.
I can't wait to see what they do with it. Brooklyn Blake, Regal playing faves. AEW has me questioning everything like it's set up to something. Yeah, I feel like everything. I don't trust anything that any of the choices lasting long. You know.
Can I give you a little bit of a crackpot theory that I was thinking about today?
Oh, I'm born to one.
Do you know who Regal's last opponent was in his last professional wrestling match?
Cesaro?
Yes. You know who his second to last opponent was in his second to last professional wrestling match? Chris Hero.
Oh, Chris Hero.
Just saying.
They bring back the Kings of Wrestling.
Just saying.
And have Regal be the manager. Because they need a talking piece. Danielson and Moxley don't need a talk.
No.
They don't need that at all.
No.
Oh my God. What they do is that's a great crackpot theory because like he's leading Bryan Danielson and Moxley, but they're too disjointed. They're not coming together as a team. They're not being violent enough. And what he needs is like a real team.
Yeah. And it's those two crazy motherfuckers. Just saying.
That's a good idea. Regal, what do we have here? Said to something. Rose Jackie, do not click on that. I don't know what that is. Thomas Scott says Regal doesn't need to be aggressive. His mannerisms and facial expressions sell more. I love that about him, and I can see where you find young gentlemen are coming from, though. Thank you so much, Thomas Scott.
Thank you.
That's really sweet, Thomas Scott. Well, thank you so much. Joe writes, problem with Swizz, Swerve, I'm assuming, will be the same with many newcomers. There are too many of them. Where is Lethal? Where is Lethal?
I gotta go.
I gotta go. Brooklyn Bleak, or does Page influence Dark Order to turn, or vice versa by association? Who knows? Well, we'll find out. That's one of those who knows with Tony Khan. I think if Thomas Scott says, I think if I remember right, Tony saved Regal when he was on drugs, but don't quote me though. Oh, I think I'm gonna quote you. I'm gonna say
that's a good question. He's been on and off with drug stuff, I think, for a lot of the 90s. So yeah, maybe. Totally.
Maybe. Yeah. Joe writes, White was temporary, right? Because TK screwed up the tweet about Lee coming in, so he had to sign a Forbidden Door talent real quick. Yeah, it was probably just a quick deal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
John Busen, Regal's the man. Let the man ramble. It was his first time on a mic here, and the gratitude and realness had me. He can get down to business from here on. No, I'm fine with that. I just feel like I don't know. Like there's a time and place for everything. What this needed right now and what we should have, I don't know. I just think Regal should have had maybe a moment in the sun maybe at the press conference, or maybe said this piece about like Danielson and Tony, all those things at a different time. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's
Joe
tricky.
writes, I don't know a lot of Regal's wrestling history, but he was gold as a heel GM on Raw about 10 years ago. He was a very good heel GM. But you remember, no, that was 20. The first time was 20 years ago. Was him in 2001 when he and Tajiri was his young boy. And they also were a tag. That was a lot of fun.
Nyla Rose tweeted during Dynamite, do you think William Regal can call up Tajiri? Good idea. He's in MLW.
That's not far. Brooklyn Bleak. If only Regal leads to Cal.
Kings of Wrestling.
Kings of Wrestling. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Tony, Chris Hero does not look too good anymore. He has gained a lot of weight. He still moves.
Yeah. I mean,
rolls.
It's been a while. I wonder, he's got glandular issues.
Yeah, leave the man's glands alone. Thomas Scott says Kings of Wrestling second to none. Brooklyn Bleak. Punk saying crap about Regal and drugs. Danielson steps up to defend Regal. Program. Okay.
Brooklyn Bleak.
Well, maybe we're onto something, but let's continue on. We have to get out of here because we get that Alex Marvez with Dark Order and Hangman, and they're just like, yeah, I kind of walked past Jungle Boy, and I'm like, you want to be the partner? Sorry. And Dark Order felt a little slighted because they were suggesting different people, different matchups.
Yeah.
But,
strange.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Any immediate thoughts? You're sticking with your theory that
I think it leads to that. And I think the Dark Order gets resentful because him and the Bucks are becoming friends again, and Dark Order turns on Hangman.
Okay. I like that. I like it. Okay, moving on. We get the match that literally they said in the show that the Wheeler Yuta Pac match. They said the title match was supposed to go a little longer. So Tony Khan has this other match. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear what the exact words were, but I heard the surprised tone of Excalibur's voice.
It was just weird.
Which is very odd.
And then they bring out Wheeler Yuta with Danhausen there.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And I'm just like, what? Every time I think they have the right idea, they go back. I'm sorry. And Wheeler Yuta needs something more than he has best friends. That's his entire gimmick, is that he has cool friends.
Yeah.
And he's not anything. Wheeler Yuta isn't anything. And it's a problem.
He needs to join a faction that's an actual faction that does stuff rather than just be friends and hug.
Yeah, or give him something. But then we get the Brutalizer for the win. It was a fine match. I just kind of glazed over it.
It had no heat.
We have some comments here. Brooklyn Bleak says, exactly. Chris Hero moves great like Keith Lee. I agree. Redley697 says, I watched this show. Good job.
Hell yeah.
Good job, Redley697. Let us know how you feel about it.
Redley697, did you watch the pay-per-view? How did you feel about the pay-per-view?
Yes. Redley697 did watch the pay-per-view. And I think they were indifferent. They're pretty indifferent. There was this one thing, I forget what they commented on. But they thought JR was funny. They thought Tony Schiavone was hysterical. Thomas Scott says, are Dark Order heels or face? I'm generally confused by them. They're definitely faces.
Yeah, definitely baby faces.
Yeah. Thomas Scott, Wheeler Yuta needs to stand on his own. I think that's the only way he's going to get over, because him just being friends with cool people isn't working. When in doubt, Joe writes, when in doubt, join the best friends. God, get Danhausen out of there. Danhausen just needs to be, if they're going to have him be a devious mischief god a la Loki, let him be a devious mischief god a la Loki.
100%.
Have him just appear and curse people if that's his thing. Don't muddy him by then being like palsy wowsy with a bunch of other guys and hanging around him.
Yeah.
Let him not. And you know what? JR was pissed in this. JR, when Danhausen came out, it was just like, let's not forget Danhausen's here. Who is Danhausen? And you should check out our Danhausen video, painstakingly made by Moet.
You should.
But they haven't ever explained. This is the laziest way to bring someone in. They literally bring someone in with such an entrance, and then that's why I'm worried about Swerve. Swerve does not have a great opportunity.
The card is stacked. What's it? The deck is stacked against him, but we'll see.
They say in Hunger Games, the odds are not in your favor. It's actually made the odds be in your favor. But
you
ever see Hunger Games?
No, I've never seen it.
I read all the books.
Oh wow, okay.
I read all the books.
Also, let's get well soon, Orange Cassidy.
I'll get well soon, Orange Cassidy.
He had his arm in a sling. Keith Lee threw him in that ladder match, and he overshot everyone that was supposed to catch him, and he landed on his shoulder. So
mad ups on that one. Yeah, it was pretty gruesome. But we're going to talk about the ladder match a little bit in a bit. But then we get not Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, Young Bucks, and Red Dragon in the back on the Cutler cam. And Adam Cole really wants the Young Bucks to be a part of this, but he's like kind of leading up. He's just like, these two people know Hangman better than anyone, inside and out. They love to party. I'm going to pick. And then Young Bucks are just like, we'd like not to, because we're really good friends with them. So
that's a really good Matt Jackson impression.
Thank you. And then Adam Cole's like, no, I wasn't even going to pick you. I was going to pick my friends, Red Dragon. They like to party. And so they picked them. And so the descent is happening. I'm seeing where you're going with this, with the Hangman and Elite, their trios nonsense. Okay, next up, this is where things really start getting like, hurry up, the show's getting over, going over. Alex is in the back with FTR.
Oh, I loved this.
You did.
I love this because they're going to be baby faces. FTR's turning face, and when have they ever been a face ever in WWE, NXT here? They've never been baby faces, and they would be really great baby faces. And it's peculiar timing that each of them are on Renee Paquette's podcast telling like heart-wrenching real life stories about their struggles in the world of professional wrestling. They're becoming baby faces. They're going to have great matches with Red Dragon. Like, things are happening here. Yeah,
no, I agree. And I do like that. It's just like, what a weird way to fire someone. So they fired Tully Blanchard. Like Dax was saying something like, the love of my life is wrestling. Then I met my wife, and then I had my kid, and now I just want to provide for him, blah, blah. And then Tully's just like, we're here to win championships. If you want to sign with me, you're going to win a championship. And then Dax just like tackles him, like grabs him. And then he's just like, you dare say anything about my family. And Tully's like, I didn't say shit about your family.
I like that Tully's like, yeah, I also got a family too.
And that's the thing that set Dax off. Like, you talked about my family. Like, I just have a family.
Yeah, but Dax, Tully's not exactly a great father.
And Cash is just like, that's it. You're fired. What? It's all over the place. But
that also means they're no longer part of the Pinnacle. They've separated themselves from the Pinnacle as well.
So the Pinnacle is basically disbanded. We have a lot of comments that I have to get to. Jason watched this show. Excellent. Joseph says, when in doubt, join the belt. Oh, we already said that. Redley says JR thought they made a new championship belt. Yeah, when Hangman came out for the pay-per-view, he's just like, is that a new championship belt? And then Excalibur's like, nope, same one since we started.
Excalibur does not take JR's shit.
He's losing, and JR started to get snippy with him. There's a comment he made about Excalibur today. He's like, don't worry, Excalibur, the internet won't get mad at you. We say that we got to keep moving on. Redley, I'm pretty sure that JR took a phone call during a match. He did say that. He thought he picked up and was like, hello, can't talk, or something like that. Joe Redlet says, Redley 697, haha. Yeah. Jim Carroll, welcome to the chat. Yeah. Danhausen should be the new leader of Dark Order, solve both problems.
Oh,
that's not a bad idea.
Pass it.
I think not a bad
Danhausen
idea.
Could be a heel too. It could be like a silly over the top heel that no one will ever boo.
Like Santino.
Santino Marella.
Santino Marella. Very good point, Jim Carroll. Thank you so much for joining the chat.
Jim Carroll.
Bless us with more of those I don't know the term. Chica Mark says, comments. I like comments. I like how they're slowly upgrading Danhausen's look. Yeah, it's getting more glittery. It's fine. Chica Marks, we have to start a letter writing campaign to AEW and just be like, let us book Danhausen.
Yeah.
Let us book Danhausen. You book everything else, TK. Just let's show you what we could do.
Yeah.
Let's show you what we could do.
Yeah.
Joe writes, they should have a Hunger Games in even lean out this bloated roster. Oh, so they should. They're gonna lean out. I think this ring.
Well,
is gonna spread.
They've done that once before and it was unsuccessful. They did that in 1998 and it was called the Brawl for All. So maybe I don't know.
Honestly, I've been watching on TikTok with Brawl for All. Pretty good.
It's
I like
actually like,
I like seeing them beat the shit out. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, Bradshaw fucking people up. Like,
It was
it's the
pretty
only
good.
good thing Bradshaw's ever done in his entire career.
Oh, it's a blast. And him getting knocked out by Bart Gunn was great. Thomas Scott says Danhausen needs a segment on AEW TV where he's doing a backstage shenanigans and mischief. It would be gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
That's much, much better use for him. Absolutely.
The way they're doing it is not right. Brooklyn Bleak says he has indie connections to Orange Cassidy, though. AEW kind of relies on the fans knowing about indie stuff. It's lazy.
Danhausen
it's honestly
does?
lazy. But yeah, they're friends on. They are. But like it's just lazy. It's just incredibly lazy to not even introduce him to your audience that haven't been to these shows. You know,
it's a good jumping off point, but you need to evolve from there.
You gotta evolve.
They don't do a good job of evolving.
Joe writes, Darkhausen needs to happen now. Yes, 100%.
Darkhausen.
Just make it Darkhausen. Thomas Scott says FTR need to be heel to fight the Briscoes unless you make the Briscoes heel, which honestly, the Briscoes, they would be fine being heels.
Yeah, but also like you don't necessarily need to do like a heel baby face in that situation because it's just two tag teams who are really accomplished and really very good who want to kill each other.
Yeah.
That's enough of a story.
And AEW doesn't care about it anyway, about the face heel thing. John Busman, Dr. Evilhausen. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Jim Carroll says, Commenthausen. We're having fun in the chat. Joe writes, but in my Hunger Games event, they have to actually fire folks that lose. Joe, you just want to see the world burn. And I'm like, Joe's being real joker about it. Okay, we have to keep going because now we're getting into some more nonsense. I have a lot of thoughts on nonsense.
Oh, is this Wardlow?
No, this is the AHFO team meeting. So we just find out today that they're having this group discussion, right? And because they're running low on time, no intros. They're already in the ring.
Yeah, they're already in the ring.
And Matt Hardy, he's just like, listen, Andrade, you brought us out here so you could fire me. I'm like, what? Is this new?
Because he lost the match. He took the pin.
Yeah, but like it's just skipping steps.
Just jumping right to it.
And he's just like, he's like, yeah, but like I said, like Andrade's like, where's your suit or something? He's just like, I couldn't stop wearing a suit because it made me act like an asshole. It transformed me into an asshole. You see, like you guys, and he makes a little joke. And the crowd is not into it at all. The crowd is super dead. And by the way, the crowd was pretty dead most of the show.
Okay. I don't remember any specific moments when they were super dead or super alive. It was just an AEW crowd.
That's a shame. And then they take a vote. As one does. And they're just like, oh, I got Private Party with me. And your guys, so you and Alex, what's his name?
Jose,
Jesus Christ.
Alex.
Monster. But like they give the thumbs down. And then, but why doesn't Butcher and Blade get a vote?
They did get a vote. They didn't put their hands up, but they stood behind Jose.
Just vote.
Yeah, just stick your thumbs out.
And then the Private Party do the Batista thing, which is great for Batista, but it doesn't work every single time you do that fucking thing. They beat down Matt, and then Sting and Darby come out to get beat down themselves, and then
fucking Sting.
The Sting gets beat down.
Sting, don't take a beat down.
Yeah, he needs a rest. But then we get Jeff Hardy come out.
Yeah.
To WWE music.
They don't own that music.
Who does what? What do you mean?
Someone else owns the copyright to that music.
Spike TV?
No, it's the guy who wrote it owns it. I saw the thing today. So what's interesting about it, if you look for it, that same music has been used in like Right Guard commercials, and like, honestly, so it's been all over the place.
That's very interesting because I was watching Ink Master during COVID.
Yeah,
and
Ink Master
all the time in Ink Master.
Yes. I
thought it was because they were on Spike TV at the time, then it was like a mutual Spike TV thing or something like that.
No,
very interesting.
Yeah, so he comes out to this music, and I got to tell you, my buddy Jeff, again, like he doesn't watch a lot of wrestling. As soon as he heard that music, my dude literally jumped off the couch and was standing with his arms in the air.
That's very exciting. And it was great to see him back. He looks great.
He does look
great
great.
shape.
it was really, really funny that he had to run to the ring, but pause for a moment to do his little dance as his brother's getting the shit kicked out of him. It's like, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. All right, here I come. Here I come.
I just wish Matt was kept off TV for a little bit before this. It would have just meant, I think this entire Money Matt thing just put a bad taste in my mouth.
The issue is they did some fun things leading up to it. Like they constantly were referencing his erratic behavior. They were constantly talking about how, like he was storming off during matches. He was ignoring people's texts. Like he was being crazy and weird. And then which was leading us down an interesting resolution, but instead they just kind of like abandoned all of that. And they just did the faction turns on him kind of thing. Like I would have much rather have seen him be like suspended or kicked off TV or like whatever. And then Andrade takes over the Hardy family office or whatever. And then the Hardy Boys come back together as a team and beat up everyone.
I just want them to be the Hardy Boys now, just like they did in WWE, then turn into broken duo, Brother Nero. Let that come back and let them have fun. Because honestly, I just want to see them with cinematic matches. I don't need a Matt Hardy in a live match anymore. Jeff Hardy, but
I'm willing to be open to a Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy live action match as long as Matt doesn't have to do as much. Yeah.
We have to get some John Busman. I knew it was happening, but I still popped huge when I heard Hardy's music.
Yeah,
that was like, thank God they had that music because that music is
cool.
A big part of it. Thomas Scott, I know Sammy is young. Hopefully the Tay relationship works out because tats are forever. Did they get a tat of each other?
Did they really?
Fucking idiots.
I keep hating them more and more.
Chica Marks, audience was looking at the side the whole time Jeff was coming. Yeah, they were like chanting Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff.
Come on, let's do it.
Joe writes, Undertaker knows something about tats being forever. Sarah. There was no H there, Joe. It was S-A-R-A. Sarah. John Busman, Butcher and Blade don't get a vote. There was a complicated segment weeks ago with who has a spot on the board and they have no voting rights. Was it really?
Is that
I don't
true?
know if you're joking. I don't know if you're joking because that's very funny. I hope they peppered that in there. Joe says, Jeff Hardy, nostalgia done right. Yeah, that was a perfect one.
100%. Great. The right call.
Thomas Scott says, I just wish Jeff brought back Willow. That was some of his best work in years. Plus, for my own selfish wants, I just want to see Willow and Danhausen interact. All my memories of Willow have been bad. I'm curious. Maybe I'm missing something. I didn't see a lot of TNA, but everything I did see of it is just like, man, they really love Jeff Hardy and they really wanted him to be happy.
Thomas, my recommendation, well, it's not a recommendation. It's like, I guess, a request. Send us some good Willow stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Call
it the hotline. And let us know.
Yeah.
Call the hotline.
Send us an email. Call the hotline.
loserleavespod@gmail.com. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Loser Leaves Wrestling. Then we got Tony says Hardy's versus House of Black to turn them. And honestly, Hardy's versus every tag team in this division. It sounds like a fun time, right?
Yeah, of course. You kidding me?
It's a good time.
It's gonna be great.
Llama Lad, they got each other's names tatted on themselves.
Yikes.
Lord.
Yikes. Where?
Yikes. Yeah, where? Let us know, Llama Lad. We want pics. So the Hardy gives a swanton, great swanton, and then they stare down Sting and Darby like, oh, you two are gonna fight us, which is fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
that.
Next up we get Tony with Shane Swerve Strickland, and guess who comes up to interrupt? Mean old Tony Nese is back, and he's got a bone to pick with Swerve Strickland. He's like, I was introduced to this company once, and they forgot about me.
That is his job, though. That's him and Jay Lethal.
I'm the premier athlete, and I'm going to show you what a premier athlete does on Friday. And they have a match on Friday, which is very exciting. We're excited to see that.
It's going to be a good match.
It's going to be a good match. It's going to be good to see Swerve on TV once or twice before he goes to Darkhausen.
Brutal. He's going to Ring of Honor Hausen.
Yeah, off TV.
Well, he's wrestling. He's wrestling at the Ring of Honor show in April.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that he's getting booked. Joe writes, because they are so in love. Stupid cue card boy. Can't wait for that proposal during a Cheetos commercial. Woo! That was some hot fire, Joe. That was some fire that time. Okay, now we're gonna get to the interesting part of the show that I have mixed feelings about.
Okay. Yeah. Me too.
It's Wardlow's world. Welcome to Wardlow's world. I'm Wardlow's world captain.
Hey, do you remember Elmo's World?
Elmo's world.
Do you remember like Elmo's world? Now in my head, it's Wardlow's world.
That's very funny. I like that a lot.
All I could hear.
That's very Wardlow's world. I love that. So he comes out, and Tony Schiavone immediately lets him know that you're in breach of contract. You're still under contract with MJF, and you breached it. Wardlow, he's like, I just want to follow my dreams. Just want to follow my dreams. I was too busy helping other people follow their dreams. And I know MJF was a bad guy, but then, like, who knows? He lost it a little bit there. He gets confused in parts of the thing, but he wants to be free. And this went on a little long. But I thought this was overall pretty good for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best work he's done on the mic for sure. I think there were some parts that came off kind of disingenuous, but that's going to happen. Or he said the thing where he's like, my mom, she's got a heart of gold. I was like, okay.
That's actually a part I liked.
You like that part? I just didn't think he delivered it well.
No, he didn't deliver it well. But when he's getting there, but like, honestly, let's talk about the ladder match real quick. Great ladder match. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. He should not have won
it. He really just made me so angry in that ladder match. There were just some moments that were just poor. They were just poor. They just weren't good. There was that one moment where he threw someone out of the ring and there was no one in the ring but him, and then he got out of the ring and kicked people who were on the ground.
That match had its problems, but but Wardlow, honestly, whatever. This was the best he's done so far.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't have any hot takes on it besides him messing up, and this was slightly better. It started off rough, but I hate the grabbing the mic thing.
Everybody does it.
It's getting so bad. It's getting so bad because it's just like William Regal did it right. He just stood,
until he took the mic from Tony.
But that's okay if it's the passion of the moment. Let's get there. Don't just take the mic. What are you doing?
I agree.
What else we got here? Joe writes, exciting picture-in-picture cue card action. Yeah, back to the commercial. Jim Carroll says, didn't Sammy propose to some chick last year? Pam.
The only likable thing about Sammy Guevara,
honestly, like that, the first time I liked him. The first time I liked him, and that was the last time. Yeah. Chica Mark says, Wardlow is so unnatural. Yeah. Thomas Scott says, I sent the pics to you of Sammy and Tate's hats on Twitter. Oh hell yeah, dog. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Also call the hotline. Let us know how you're doing.
Hotline.
Let us know. We have some text in the hotline. Send us some pics. Send us all the pics. Yeah. We want them all, the juicy, rotten things. Let me see them. We got Joe writes, yep, left her because she got too many paper cuts from the old cue cards. You're like Don Rickles. You're just fucking roast mode. Chica Mark says, is it his best work, but still weird? It is his best work, but still weird. Yeah. John Busman says, this is the most Wardlow's ever talked. I thought he did really good. I think he did.
That's a really good point.
We're being critical of him because we kind of there's a lot of people on the show that we would prefer in this spot. But honestly, he's getting better on the mic. Honestly, though, the issue with me has not been his mic work. It's his ring work. That's been
I never really, I didn't disagree with you, but I didn't see what you were talking about when you would say that he's like kind of oblivious and like kind of doesn't play to the crowd the right way or play to the crowd too much, sells too much, until I watched that ladder match. And that's when I was like, okay. At one point he was like cheering and like showing off to the crowd as two people were climbing the ladder. Yeah, he was just like ignoring that was happening. And it drove me nuts.
It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, terrible. Tony says, hey, give it to AEW to at least let Wardlow talk a bit. This is a big step in his career. Tony, I don't want to take that away. It's just like, he needed to talk. He needed to talk tonight. I'm not mad at this segment. I just feel like maybe it should have been backstage. That might have been better. Or a sit down with JR.
Interesting. Interesting.
That
Well,
would've
I
been-
think that's probably coming. Well, we're gonna see what happens here. There's a lot of interesting ways that we can go, and we'll talk about it when we talk about the main event.
Yeah. John Busey said, I feel like the spot where he left may have been because Orange was hurt, so Q's missed.
That's interesting.
Maybe.
That's
Maybe.
interesting.
That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought. Joe says, grabbing the mic in wrestling is as commonplace as interrupting a promo backstage. Yeah, but they do it both things egregiously at AEW. We can have I'm fine with rule bending, but let's keep the frame on the goddamn picture.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Now we get to Alex in the back with QT and Keith Lee. We got QT wants to welcome Keith Lee, and he's just like, listen, I got your back. I like what you're thinking. And Keith Lee's like, I got a large back. And
I like that I have a rather large back. I thought it was
rather
fantastic.
large back. He's not interested. He's like, I'm good. And QT's not happy with it. And so, honestly, worried for Keith Lee. I feel like he went from ladder match, big ladder match, big opening, to a QT feud.
It's another squash that's leading to matches with Powerhouse. Let's all take it easy. He's going to fight Powerhouse and Ricky Starks. If that doesn't happen, then we're in trouble.
Okay. All right. But we get that. Next up, we get Jurassic Express versus the Acclaimed. And in a very weak wrap.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was really excited to be like, hey, Jeff, watch this. It's going to be great. It was a little weak. It wasn't as
he talked
cutting.
about Batman.
A little wasn't as biting.
And so they had a match, and it was one with a Doomsday device to Bowens. It was a fine match. A good match. But something needs to change with Luchasaurus and Jurassic.
They need to drop the titles. Is what needs to happen. They need to drop the titles. Yeah, and Luchasaurus needs to go away for a little while, and Jungle Boy needs to feud with Christian. And I don't know. I thought this was a pretty good match, though. Overall, I thought it was good. I thought there were some good moments. There was a good flow to it. The Acclaimed are really getting better as wrestlers.
Yeah, no, the Acclaimed, I'm really enjoying. It's just that the Jurassic Express is not lived up to it. We do have Certified Wrestling Podcast in the house.
Ooh.
Certified Hustlers here. Welcome to the show. He says, yo, fortune teller Nostradamus themselves. Love your podcast, by the way. I've been checking it out with the scoops you got. You got to check out Certified Wrestling Podcast for those scoops. Thomas Scott says, QT is trying to recruit Keith Lee to fight Hook, maybe. That would be cool to see. Now, that's a really cool idea. He's just like,
that's interesting.
A really fun idea of like what QT could be doing as like, oh, I'm going to recruit people to then fight you, Hook. Maybe not Keith Lee, though, but someone else.
Tony Nese, for sure.
Yeah, Tony Nese needs the work. Certified Wrestling Podcast. I'm going to Crockett Cup. Ooh, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, let us know about it.
Let us know.
That actually looks like a pretty good card. It looks pretty interesting.
Very excited about that. Thomas Scott says Luchasaurus needs to turn on Jungle Boy or something. When FTR cut the horns off the mask, I was just like, at least get a new mask. Change up the look.
Is he still wearing the same mask?
Same exact mask. It needs a fresh paint of coat. Jim Carroll says Serve plus Acclaim for trios. Serve plus Acclaim for trios. Swerve plus Acclaim for trios. Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that. Certified Wrestling Podcast. Thank you. Yeah, check out Certified Wrestling Podcast. S says J Express was great in the pay-per-view match. I totally disagree with your take. They are really growing as a team.
Yes. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough. There's just with so many tag teams, so many great tag teams. They're your champs. I struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, I feel like they just need something to change. I don't even need them to turn on each other as much as I want them to have a shift in character or something, a motivation, anything. The feud with Christian or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe says way too soon for Lee to fight Hook. Don't kill Lee before he starts, or don't kill Hook before they start. Yeah. It's too soon for both of those, that type of matchup, but it'd be interesting down the line.
Did you see the Hook QT match?
Actually, I missed the undercard.
It was okay. It was a little long. It was a little long. Yeah, I think Hook is still best served in just getting crushing dudes. Yeah.
Short bursts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. How was the Layla Hirsch match?
It's a little sloppy, but it was good.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
We got next up we have Jade in the back. Jade Cargill, ever heard of her? It's that bitch show again. And
It's that bitch show.
And Jade, by the way, love her outfit. I love her Jade from Mortal Kombat outfit from Revolution. Amazing. I'm really liking Jade, but she's like, who's next? Who's next to get Jade's kiss of death? Hell yeah. This is cool. I like this thing, but also the match with Ty,
there were some good moments.
It's just like the people that are champions right now, I don't want to be champion. Actually, every single champion across the board. Hangman, I don't think he's like the champion I want right now. Sammy, definitely not, but
not anymore.
But even Scorpio, not very much. But then Jade, I would prefer Serena Deeb. Britt is the only one. The tag?
It should be Rosa. It should be Thunder Rosa, and it will be next week. Hold on one second. Keep going. Vamp for me. I got to open my door. Hold on one second.
Scooby Dooby. Oh, well, let's look at some comments here. Jurassic Express are just a great babyface tag team. Their in-ring work has been great. I'm not saying that their in-ring work hasn't been very solid. I think Jungle Boy is very great. I think Luchasaurus does the same things every time.
He's Jim Neidhart.
But like
Jungle Boy's Brett.
But like I just feel like they need to switch it up. Something's needed to change. But next up we have Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. Legit Layla Hirsch. I like this match a lot.
Yeah, that was a good match.
I thought the crowd was dead for it.
Yeah.
The crowd was absolutely dead for this match. Great wrestling, fun match. Layla is about to use the turnbuckle hook to bash in Thunder Rosa's brains in, but then Red Velvet was just like, no. Yeah. You turn on me, I won't let you win. And so then she loses that match, and with a Thunder Fire Thunder Driver.
Yeah, something like that.
And we get Thunder Rosa winning the match. How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was great. I just imagine wrestling being the size that Layla Hirsch is. It just must be difficult to be a wrestler because you don't have a lot of reach.
Honestly, the one thing that is, I will say, I like Layla Hirsch a lot, but man, you got to give us some jump on those things because Thunder Rosa's struggling. She's legs out there. Yeah. She's not giving her any jump. She's also
got a leg gimmick going on. She's got her leg wrapped up. It looks like she's hurting a little bit.
Oh, that's not good. I don't want to see that. But she has to give her a little bit of a jump. Thomas Scott says someone is probably coming in to beat her. Maybe Tony Storm or maybe somebody from Ring of Honor. Bring Tony Storm in. I love Tony Storm. Bring in Tony Storm.
Hell yeah.
John Buseman, Kiss of Death. I think Jade's two best matches were with Ty and Anna Jay. And I like Jade. I like Jade a lot. I just think that Jade needs a little bit more seasoning. Like she needs a little bit more. She just needs to know she's a monster. Yeah. I just want her and Wardlow to know that they're monsters. Yeah. Jim Carroll says J Express, it's all spots and clunky. Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in between what Jim Carroll and S are saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
they leave me just feeling a little uninspired.
And I like Jungle Boy a lot. I like Jungle Boy. For sure. I think he'd make a great cowboy. Joe writes, I would love it if some had it in their gimmick that when they were going to hit their finish, the crowd screams, finish him a la Mortal Kombat. That'd be a fun little gimmick. That has to start on the indies though. That has to start on the indies to get that small crowd going with it and where the point, like Adam Cole, baby, good train him. Thomas Scott, I hate certain media not using Layla Hirsch being Russia to bash AEW. What?
I'm not totally sure what that means.
Interesting. Elaborate, Mr. Scott.
She is Russian.
Yeah, she is Russian. She's from Russia. Chica Mark says, I love Layla's size. It helps me visualize that what I'd look like if I was swole and could wrestle. Chica Marks and I are going to go to wrestling school.
I think it's a great idea.
We've been talking about it. Next up, we have to keep this going. Oh my God. Tony announces next week Britt will face Thunder Rosa in a
steel cage. That's really exciting.
Steel cage.
Really exciting.
I'm very excited for that. Britt thinks there's a conspiracy, but she's just like, listen, you may have won that lights out match a year ago, but who really won?
Yeah.
That's a great point. And I really like that. And I'm very excited for that match. We're excited for that, right, Rory?
Oh, I'm pumped up. That should main event next week. It really should.
It has to be. It has to be.
I hope so.
Who knows? It's probably starting the show. Next
It
up,
might.
we get the main event. We're finally here. We're at the main event. It's Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara. Roy, Scorpio Sky versus Sammy. What are you looking at for too? Is there someone in the door?
I got distracted by the comments. I was looking at the comments.
Oh, okay. I thought there was the door thing.
My
We
dog's
get Scorpio
going
Sky.
crazy, though.
We get Scorpio Sky versus
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara. And so soon into this match, Sammy goes for a table. Very
Sammy
soon.
went for that table.
Yeah. Sammy pulled out the table. And then he lays him on there. He's just like, I'm fucking crazy. And I literally write down, as he says that, I write down, because Ty used it in her match too. And I just fucking hate it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
But I wrote down, Sammy Guevara is the most cringe wrestler.
He really
currently today.
is.
He honestly makes me uncomfortable. He's cringy. His facial expressions, things he says, the way he speaks, the way he moves, and that way he acts, everything about him. And I think he'd be such a great heel as a cringe wrestler.
Great heel, yes.
An amazing heel. As a face, he's just he's gross.
He's awful. He's awful. He's really
He's
terrible.
gross. But he goes up to get the table and he lays Scorpio on. He's just like, I'm losing it. And he goes to the top rope and he gives a 720 off the top rope, smashing onto the floor into his back. That was a nuts spot. That was absolutely.
Again, another moment where my buddy jumped off the couch because he'd never seen anything like that before.
It was nuts.
It was crazy. That's crazy.
He could have very easily died, been paralyzed. And it's not something you could really practice.
No, you just got to do it.
And
he's done that before, but he did it with Darby on a table and he landed on Darby.
Yeah, I could
landing
imagine someone
through the table,
or just with no one catching, and half the table. He didn't even land fully on the table. His it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
And he sold it for a while, as he should. But then he comes back in the ring. He spits in Scorpio Sky's face. I was really worried at this point. Just can't you just lose the match? Can't you just lose?
Well, I was worried that he wasn't going to lose because how much more can you possibly bury Scorpio Sky?
100%. But then Dan Lambert gets distracts the ref. And then Ethan Page is about to do something. And then Ty says, no, not today. But who comes from the side but Paige Van Zandt?
Love it.
Nails her.
Love it.
That's good. Throws her into the steps. Exciting. And then he gets Scorpio Sky getting the win. Winning the championship.
I love it.
And then they immediately cut because they went way over time.
Well, no, they did the post-match angle where Paige Van Zandt signs the contract on Ty's butt. They did that
I missed
part.
that. I missed that.
They did that. And you know what? I think it was good. I think, man, I feel so relieved that Paige Van Zandt's first match in AEW isn't going to be against Brandy and it's going to be against Ty instead. And honestly, good for Scorp. I mean, Scorpio Sky was one of the first 5 wrestlers signed to AEW, and he won he was the first ever tag champ, and he's now the first ever African-American male to win a championship in AEW.
Yeah. And I'm happy for him. I want him to succeed. I'm hoping the best. I'm hoping the best. We all want the best for Scorpio Sky. We have some comments here. Jade could where are we? Finish it. Where Chico Marks, Joe, Hook should get it. Finish him, Hook. Oh, they should have the finish him Hook.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Finish him. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak, Jade could have used that finish him gimmick. That would have been cool. And she likes Mortal Kombat, I guess. Brooklyn Bleak,
Sure.
But Wardlow and Jade Cargill should spend some time in Ring of Honor when the revamp happens. I don't like the idea of using it as a theater, not like as a, I don't know.
Well, he could get fired. I mean, that's actually a very realistic possibility that he could get fired from AEW technically because, well, we'll talk about it in a minute. We'll finish with the comments.
Thomas Scott, a U.S. senator used a pic of Layla Hirsch wearing Russian colors on Sunday to bash AEW and her on Twitter. Whatever. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
She's just a person.
And she also was an orphan in Russia and was adopted by an American family and moved to America.
Yeah.
So
thank you for bringing this to light, Thomas. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Chico Marks, I'm mad at myself for watching him cry on the ground the whole picture-in-picture. I hope something would happen. Yeah, that was pretty annoying, but it was better than his fucking cue cards. John Buseman, Sammy dying during picture-in-picture is better than the cue card god. Yeah, 100%. Do the Sammy imitation, Red. Do the imitation. What is it again? Hey, what are you guys talking about?
What are you doing over there? What? I'm crazy. I don't know.
Is it the voice from Ferris Bueller? It's like, hey, enough of what you've been talking about. Listen up, guys. I'm loco. I'm a loser. I think that's it. Brooklyn Bleak, not being mean, but is Layla Hirsch technically a dwarf? I don't think so. But
we're gonna find out in a moment.
Jim Carroll, give him the title of for a week until Wardlow destroys him. I like Wardlow better than Wardlow.
We're gonna talk about that. I don't think Wardlow's winning.
You don't think so?
I think MJF's gonna cost him, and then he's gonna get fired and go to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good point. Great job. Chica Marks, she's 4'11", and 4'7" is usually the threshold to be a little person. I'm 5'10" and a half, so I've read up on it. Yeah, let's say watch it, Brooklyn Bleak.
No, come on.
No, we love you, Brooklyn Bleak. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the information, Chica Marks. I'm glad that we got some clarification. As Scorpio is also going to be the first transitional champion.
We don't know.
We don't know.
No, I don't know. You know, we'll find out. I just hope he doesn't transition that title back to Sammy.
Yeah,
that's all.
Oh, please God, don't. Brooklyn Bleak, I think Scorpio might lose the title to Wardlow on Friday. Honestly, what Roy mentioned makes sense. MJF is going to disrupt it.
I think so.
Brooklyn Bleak, cool, thanks. I hope you weren't saying cool things to me being a jerk. I didn't mean to be a jerk. Joe writes, which senator? Probably one of the right-wing nuts like Cruz or Green. Thomas Scott, Scorpio Sky is amazing. That's the comment. Scorpio Sky is the comment. And, yeah. Wow,
we did it in only 90 minutes.
Woo. Brooklyn Bleak is prayer hands and solemn face. Bless you, Brooklyn Bleak. And we
thanks
y'all
for joining us tonight. This was a lot of fun. Thank you all so much.
This was a whirlwind. This is a whirlwind. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we had fun talking about this. And we're going to be very fun talking on Saturday for the Weekly Wrestle. 16.
Weekly Wrestle. Yeah.
Weekly Wrestle 16. 16. Each week is a shock.
4 months of the Weekly Wrestle. Can you believe that?
Yeah, the Weekly Wrestle's growing in large numbers. Thank you all so much for joining. Call the hotline 201-574-7222 and get some juicy gossip. And also leave us a message, send us texts, send us things. I'm not going to respond to them. They're not going to be responded to. No, it's not going to happen. But I appreciate them, and I like texts. We'll
talk about them on the show. We just won't respond to them.
I could. If you guys want me to talk about the things that you say on the show, I will. And all these dirty pictures that you're sending me. Awesome. No, thank you all so much for joining Loser Lee's Wrestling on Instagram, on Twitter's Loser Lee's Pod. Also check us out. Send us an email, loserleespod@gmail.com. TikTok, Loser Lee's Wrestling. Anything else, Roy?
Just keep hanging out. Just keep watching wrestling. We have some really exciting announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. There's some really exciting, fun things coming down for all y'all.
All y'all. Oh, God bless y'all.
All y'all.
All y'all. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Joe said that was a fun show. Thank you so much, Joe. The chat was on fire tonight. Good job.
Chat was on fire tonight.
Great
y'all
job.
Crushed it. Y'all crushed it.
Brooklyn Bleak, damn, another great show. 360-degree ending quote. That with 360-degree ending.
I'm not sure what that means, but Brooklyn Bleak, we love you. We're so happy you're around.
Bless all of you. Bye.
Bye.
Ole. 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 Ole.